real weekend. So, so we all want to experience different pleasures, and that's very natural because the nature of the soul is to actually enjoy. But on the material platform, the meditation of the pleasure and the achievement of the pleasure, or the conception of the pleasure, and then meditation of the pleasure and planning for that pleasure and the actual experience of the pleasure, they're all separated by time. For instance, say, I'm thinking, why should I be here? I should have actually been in Upper Peninsula. Right? Why am I here? I should have been in New York. Why am I here? My friends are in the Bay Area. Maybe I won't use this. That's okay. It's having an echo. Is that okay? Or you find this more useful? That's fine. So why am I here? I should have been in the Bay Area. So it's natural to think like that because we think of what we call the FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Maybe I had 3 days of holidays and did not do it the best I could have. Correct? Or maybe I got a life, but I married the wrong person. I got a life, but maybe I got into the wrong college. So this is very natural for the soul because he's hoping to enjoy pleasure. At least I thought here I'll strike it, but it did not happen. So the material conception of pleasure, there is an idea of pleasure, and you have to be there in that place, in that physical place, for you to enjoy that pleasure. And to be in that physical place, the physical place could be a job, it could be a relationship, or it could be a vacation, whatever it is. And then I have to enjoy pleasure. Until then, no pleasure. You have to plan for it, that's all. You have to wait until that time for you to be happy. So this is the material idea of pleasure. Now, if you go a little subtler on the mental platform, when you become a little more advanced, you don't have to enjoy on the physical platform for you to feel that you're enjoying. We have this experience even while we are dreaming. Right? I'm dreaming, correct? Or like I'm going to India or whatever it is. I'm dreaming. It's I'm no responsibilities. I'm again a child, or I'm like going to school, and so you're dreaming. So you're experiencing that. You're having the experience of that, though it is not physical. It is not physical, but still you're having an experience of it in the dream. So the soul is there. The soul can experience pleasure through the body or through the mind. Okay. Now, on the mental platform, I can feel that anything, LSDs, drugs, they're all based on this idea that you can enjoy pleasure not necessarily through the body. So when our consciousness becomes a little more advanced, for instance, say I want to eat ice cream, but I'm diabetic. But I'm also practicing Krishna consciousness and I'm not so advanced yet. I'm still a little less advanced. Then you can actually experience the pleasure of ice cream just by thinking that you are eating ice cream on the mental platform. Because there is no difference between enjoying on the physical platform and on the mental platform. Because actually, even while you are enjoying on the physical platform, it is actually the mind that is actually enjoying. Actually, you can enjoy that. Just like you are enjoying while in the dream. I have mentioned many times, you can get married or you can, whatever, it's happening on the mind only. But sometimes even there is physical reaction. When we are meditating on something, when we are mentally thinking of something, there is even physical reaction, correct? So this is very natural because the reality is that I'm enjoying. I can either enjoy on the mental platform or intellectual platform or the physical platform. But the reason I'm trying to bring this point is, there is a lot of separation when we talk about enjoyment on the physical platform, about thinking of that enjoyment and then actual enjoyment. Right? It is separated by time, it is separated by money, it is separated by effort. There is so much separation. And the vacation, also I've mentioned this before also, the vacation is so strenuous I need another 2 days of vacation from that vacation. Right? So subset of vacation. I come back on Tuesday morning, but I need again Tuesday and Wednesday for having a vacation from the vacation. Right? For putting the clothes from all that, the laundry, and then everything. And then it takes 2 days to get streamlined into the normal thing. Because vacation also tires us. Correct? So this is the nature of physical pleasure. There is separation of time, there is separation of money, separation of resources. There is a lot of hard work. One person is getting it, another person is offering it, right? So some person, you go to a theme park, that person is giving you some cards and you're saying, okay, they are very bored in that theme park. You are excited in the theme park. Yeah, I'm going to this ride, I'm going to that ride. They are giving that, okay, take it, take it. They are like bored, they have seen it all. Right? They are bored giving it out to you. So one person is giving it, other person is enjoying it. Other person is not suffering. Other person is not enjoying, my bad. So in this way, there is so many deficiencies in this material idea of pleasure. So when we become a little more and more advanced, we can actually enjoy on the spiritual platform where there is no separation from pleasure and achievement of the pleasure. The conception of pleasure and pleasure itself. There is no separation of time. The separation of time keeps on decreasing from the physical to the mental to the intellectual to the spiritual platform. Everyone understands? Right? So we should not think pleasure means this must happen, then only I can become happy. When will that happen? It is not happening for me. It is happening for everyone else. Maybe my bad karma. So like that, we don't need to think like that. This is the good news of spiritual life. This is the good news of spiritual life. That we don't have to wait for something, someone, all the nice circumstances to be happy. It's such a convoluted definition of happiness. Right? Because Balal Maharaj mentions this in one of the shlokas. See how what I just talked for the past 10 minutes is merely an expansion of one word that Prahlad Maharaj talks about. What is the nature of Krishna consciousness? Just one word. Just one word. Right? That's the potency of Bhagavatam verses. That there is no difference. So it is beyond Krishna's, Prahlad Maharaj telling, Kevala Anubhavananda Swarupaha. Kevala Anubhavananda Swarupam. That's all. Krishna is Kevala Anubhavananda. He's basically full of pleasure. Krishna. Spiritual life is full of Kevala. Kevala means simply, nothing else. Pratyagatmanaha. Right? He can be perceived, you don't have to go outside. Pratyak. Pratyak means that which is always there. That is which is inside. So this pleasure we can understand, we can experience in the human form of life. We can attempt to experience this. So this intelligence to compare different types of pleasure is possible with human intelligence. An animalistic intelligence cannot compare pleasures. This is a huge difference that modern civilization is actually neglecting. They think every pleasure is the same as every other pleasure. This is what causes confusion in our life. Krishna is telling, Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinashaha. Buddhinashat Pranashyati. Smriti Bhramsha means what? We forget what pleasure is actually. When we are deluded, what happens? We forget what is actually pleasure. We forget the distinctions of pleasure. It makes it all appear one. So this clarity is obtained by the purification of consciousness. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jiva cheto darpana marjanam. So when our consciousness is cleansed of all impurities, what does impurity mean? That which makes us think that we are something that we are not. This is called impurity. I've mentioned many times this example, different types of impurities. Does anyone remember? What is impurity for milk? Adulterating it, correct? Water. Water is one way you adulterate, you pollute milk. Impurity for milk. Okay. What is impurity for water? Anything other than water. Correct? Anything other than water is impurity. If there is a lot of foam, there is a lot of bubbles also, you'll think whether it is good water or bad water. I don't know. Correct? Maybe some lot of CO2. Anything other than water is impurity for water. Right? What is impurity for air? What is impurity for air? Too much earthly elements. Too much earthly elements, dust or whatever it is, minerals or whatever it is. Yeah, particles. Yeah, particulate matter. That is impurity for air. Correct? So similarly, if you go on analyzing, what is impurity for the mind? What is impurity for the mind? How do you know whether the mind is impure? Okay, how do you know what is negative? How do we know what is negative, what is positive?
What if the one which is not blissful?
That, no. Okay, mind when it is not happy, it is polluted. Okay, you could say that, yes. But how does it manifest to the mind? So the impurity for the mind is agitation. Impurity for the mind is agitation. So whenever the mind is agitated, that means the mind is impure. So what is the impurity for intelligence? Nice. Ignorance. Right? Moham. Right? Delusion. Overestimating something, underestimating something. Not knowing what is what. Yathatmya Swarupa Jnanam is not present. Understanding what is what. This is impurity for the intelligence. So what is the impurity for consciousness? Cheto Darpana Marjanam. This is what Mahaprabhu is talking about. Cheto Darpana Marjan. Marjan means cleansing. So what is impurity for consciousness? Not having love for Krishna. Right? Not having love for Krishna. So this is the impurity for consciousness. So when there is no preeti for Vasudeve Bhagavati, there is no preeti for Krishna, that means the consciousness is impure. Consciousness is impure. So because of this impure consciousness only, the intelligence is impure, the mind is impure, our actions are impure, our words are impure. All this is actually a manifestation of the impurity of consciousness. Just like if you have a GMO seeds, it is only GMO seed, but you're operating it on the genome level. So what happens? It is manifesting until the fruits. And kids gonna classes. It is manifesting all the way until the fruits. Is it not? It is only happening on the seed level. Seed level. But the fruits are also not having seeds. I'm only changing something within the seeds, but these effects are seen in the trunks, effects are seen in the branches, effects are seen here, effects are seen there. Everything is seen. Why? Because consciousness is impure. Like the seed, you have changed the seed. Similarly, Ashtanga Yoga means you are taking the example of the tree. It is to cut down the branches, the unnecessary branches. This is called Ashtanga Yoga, which means you are cutting down unnecessary thoughts. You are purifying the mind by lessening the agitation. This is what Ashtanga Yoga is. And how do you do that? By pranayama. So when you do pranayama, the mind becomes calm. But because the consciousness is not purified, the mind will again become agitated later. So it is like an anesthesia. So, Jnana Yoga is to do vicharam of the faculty of with the faculty of intelligence, and then understand what is actually real and what is not unreal, what is not real. Sadasat vilakshana buddhi. What is real, what is unreal. Sadasat vilakshanam. Vilakshana means what? You are separating by analysis. Vilakshanam. Lakshanam. Everything has got a lakshanam. Symptoms. So by understanding the lakshanam of something, you can study actually what it is. What is its value in my life? So to do this is jnana yoga. But bhakti yoga is actually affecting the ultimate consciousness. That's all. You're not trying to calm the mind. You're not trying to go to the intelligence. You're going all the way to the consciousness. And actually, in one sense, you yourself are also not going. You're simply submitting to the Hare Krishna mantra. And the Hare Krishna mantra is doing the operations on the consciousness platform. And all we have to do is to hear the Hare Krishna mantra and the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra continuously, one's consciousness becomes completely purified. When consciousness is purified, the intelligence can see itself very clearly that I am actually not this body. This is what the whole world is an illusion. The whole world is acting under the idea that I am this body. This is the greatest illusion to think I am this body. But the whole world is very confident, it is very assertively progressing on this false idea. And they are enunciating philosophies, they are, what do you say, they are having groups, they are having clubs, they are having parties, they are having so many conferences, all on the mistaken idea that I am this body. And it has no substance whatsoever. So, to realize this has no substance, our consciousness has to become purified. Right now, we think it has substance, we think this is real. So, this is very easy. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra, anyone can do. So, actually, we can very easily understand who's Krishna simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra continuously. Nirantara Namalav. Constantly chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Mahaprabhu also says, Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. You constantly chant the holy name. Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. Why? If I'm not doing Hari Kirtanam, then whatever I am speaking is an expression of the ignorance that I have. And when I express ignorance, it gets solidified. For instance, say I don't like Vikram Prabhu. Say my mind says I don't like Vikram Prabhu. I like him, but I'm just saying. But if I voice it out, I want to share what I feel. So let me voice it out. So by voicing it out, you are stopping yourself a chance to actually change your stand later when your mind, revisits it. Because you're asserting that ignorance. Yes, I don't like him. So the more you voice things out, the more you are solidifying your ignorance. So the more you are able to resist voicing it out, not resist, I would say, little tolerate and then understand, maybe I'm ignorance, let me be a little calm, right, this will pass. Then what happens? You will find yourself, maybe thank God I kept quiet at that time. I didn't make a fuss that time, because right now I have a completely different perspective of that person, right? So whenever we speak something, we solidify our ignorance. So whatever we speak must be valuable to us and others. And what is valuable? Knowledge is valuable. What is knowledge? That which actually sees the whole reality is knowledge. And that is Shastra, Chakshu. To speak Shastra is the function of this tongue. So if we are not speaking Shastra with this tongue, then we are polluting ourselves and polluting others. So Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. So constantly we must chant. Either the shlokas we must chant or the Hare Krishna mantra we must chant. Somehow we must keep chanting. We must always speak that which is true. Anudve karam vakyam satyam priyahitam cha yat. Satyam priyahitam. It must be satyam, it must be priyahitam. So this is the easiest way. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, one can affect the deepest function, the deepest faculty that you possess. And you can change your life inside out, literally. Inside out, literally. It is like operating something on the bottommost, the most functional part. It is like you're going to the library and changing something, talking in terms of programming. Right? You're going to the ultimate thing and then you're changing everything. That is really Krishna consciousness. You're not saying something, you're not stilling your thoughts. No. You are simply paying attention, you're surrendering to the Hare Krishna mantra. And by surrendering to the Hare Krishna mantra, continuously with great faith, Hare Krishna mantra does everything for you. This is the experience of many. This is the experience of many devotees, many perfected souls. So I request all of you. So tomorrow we are having a small gathering in the Goshala in the afternoon. I hope you have seen the message. I don't know how engaged all of you are. How many of you think you'll be able to join tomorrow the Goshala? Okay, that's a full audience. Nice. So if you can, then very nice. So we are going to do some japa and also some services there in the farm, so we can do some seva. So this Harinama Chintamani is a very nice book. So we'll come together, chant, go into the mantra, have these weekends are meant for diving deep actually into the reality of what we are and who we are. So with that being said, I will go into the Bhagavad Gita. So whatever we're reading Shodasho Adhyayaha, 16th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. So we were reading Chintam Aprimeyam, Pralayantam Upashritaha, Kamabuhoka Parama, Yetavadidi Nischitaha, Asha Pashtaihi Baddhaha, Kamakrodha Parayanaha, Ihante Kamabhogartam Anyayena Artha Sanchayan. Anyayena Artha Sanchayan. So we were reading how there are two different types of sampat, Daivi Sampat and Asuri Sampat. People who are in the Asuri Sampat are predominantly in a material idea of life, which is actually not true, which is actually illusory, it is imaginary. So, and they cause inconvenience to themselves, they cause inconvenience to others. So this is the nature of asuras. So this is what we are doing. Thank you, Sachinadan, Giridhari Prabhu. So thank you, Hari Ranjan. So I think we did 16th, right? 16th chapter. 16:10, huh? We didn't do 16.16. I thought we did 16.16. We did 16.16, I assume. I did not actually finish the purport also. So I'll read from the purport, or someone can read the purport, maybe. Or just read the shloka once alone, okay? Aneka chitta vibhranta mohajaala samavritāha prasaktāha kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu chau. Maybe the translation once, or someone wants to read, maybe. You want to read the translation? Yeah, go ahead. That's,
Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they became too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell.
okay. Someone wants to see the purport, the first paragraph.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti, teacher.
Okay.
The demonic man knows no limit to his desire to acquire money. That is unlimited. He thinks only of how much assessment he has just now and schemes to engage that stock of wealth further and further. For that reason, he doesn't hesitate to act in any sinful way and so deals in the black market for illegal gratification. He is enamored by the possessions he has already, such as land, family, house, and bank balance, and he is always planning to improve them. He believes in his own strength, and he does not know that whatever he is gaining is due to his past good deeds. He is given an opportunity to accumulate such things, but he has no conception of past causes. He simply thinks that all his mass of wealth is due to his own endeavor. A demonic person believes in the strength of his personal work, not in the law of karma. According to the law of karma, a man takes his birth in a high family or becomes rich or very well educated or very beautiful because of good work in the past. The demonic think that all these things are accidental and due to the strength of one's personal ability. They do not sense any arrangement behind all the varieties of people, beauty, and education. Anyone who come into competition with such a demonic man is his enemy. There are many demonic people, and each is enemy to the others. The enmity becomes more and more deep between persons, then between families, and then between societies, and at least between nations. Therefore, there is no constant strife nor anonymity all over the world.
Anyone else? The second paragraph.
Each demoniac person thinks that he can live at the sacrifice of all others. Generally, a demoniac person thinks of himself as the supreme God, and a demoniac preacher tells his followers, "Why are you seeking God elsewhere? You are all yourself God. Whatever you like, you can do. Don't believe in God. Throw away God. God is dead." These are the demoniac's preachings. Although the demoniac person sees others equally rich and influential, or even more so, he thinks that no one is richer than he and that no one is more influential than he. As far as promotion to the higher planetary system is concerned, he does not believe in performing yajnas or sacrifices. Demons think that they will manufacture their own process of yajna and prepare some machine by which they will be able to reach any higher planet. The best example of such a demoniac man was Ravana. He offered a program to the people by which he would prepare a staircase so that anyone could reach the heavenly planets without performing sacrifices, such as are prescribed in the Vedas. Similarly, in the present age, such demoniac men are striving to reach the higher planetary systems by mechanical arrangements. These are examples of bewilderment. The result is that without their knowledge, they are gliding toward hell. Here, the Sanskrit word mohajala is very significant. Jala means net. Like fish caught in a net, they have no way to come out.
So, very nice shloka. Aneka chitta vibhranta moha jala samavritaha. So, imagine our mind to be like an ocean. And in that ocean, there are so many waves hitting that ocean. So many waves, so many thoughts, so many to do things clouding my mind. So I have to do this, I have to do that. And Krishna is telling here, Aneka chitta, in the mind, vibhranta. Bhranta means what? Bhranti. Bhranti means is bewildered. Bewildered. Aneka chitta vibhranta moha jala. Right? So these different thoughts are actually moham. Moha means he has nothing to do with these thoughts whatsoever. Moha jala. Samavritaha. He's covered by these delusions. He's covered by these delusions. And when someone is covered by delusions, they are constantly active for the sake of giving themselves pain. This is called delusion. Delusion means I'm constantly active. How are you feeling? I'm feeling painful. This is called moha. This is tamoguna. This is the status of the whole world. Right? If everyone is busy, why are they not happy? Okay, what is your plan for happiness? No, I'll be happy after 2 years. I'll be happy after 4 years. After 4 years, are you happy? No, I'm not happy. The reason is they have accepted something that is false. So that is something that you can never achieve. Right? Just like a mirage. The example that is given in the Bhagavatam is like a mirage. You're searching for mirage in a desert. Does the mirage exist? No. I mean, in one sense it does. It exists in your mind. But in reality, it does not exist. The pleasure is merely imagined. We are imagining something. And we are seeing that imagination. Seeing that imagination. Prabhupada used to give an example. Camel. You know what a camel does? A camel eats thorns. Right? How many of you have read this example? Right? Whoever finished the SSR reading would have. So, camel, it would chew these thorns. And when it chews these thorns, what happens? There is blood oozing out of the camel. But when the blood is oozing out of the camel, the foolish camel is thinking that the thorns are very tasty. The thorns are very tasty. But actually, the more he is tasting these thorns, the more he is actually suffering. Correct? Similarly, Prabhupada compared this. Prabhupada is always very straightforward. Prabhupada said, right, similarly, a man thinks, by excessively wasting his sexual energy, right, he can be happy, right? I'm being happy, but actually it is his own blood. It is his own blood. But he's thinking that I'm actually becoming happy. No, the happiness is not coming out of that. I'm actually feeling more pain. After the touch, it is fully painful. So similarly, everyone in this world is thinking that by sense enjoyment, I will become more happy. I'll become more happy. But by sense enjoyment, we become more tired. We don't become fresh. We don't become fresh. You see many nice brahmacharis, right? What is the difference between a traditional brahmachari or any devotee? Not necessarily a brahmachari. Any devotee who has not lived a life of sense enjoyment, their face will be very fresh. Very fresh, very young. Very young. How? Like, we saw Radheshyam Prabhu, right? He's like 57 years old. But like he's 54, 55 years old. No, he doesn't look 54 years old. Right? So, but he looks like as if he's like 36, 37. How? Because the mind is not agitated, the senses are not going externally, the senses are going to Krishna only. They're staying inside. Senses are not going outside. So the more we are indulging in these senses, then what happens? It confuses us more. It confuses us more. We'll have more polar opposites within ourselves. The more we enjoy this world, the more we are able to actually retract this enjoyment. Retract means retract the senses. We don't have to stop enjoying because the goal of life is to enjoy. But we are going for a higher enjoyment. The more we retract that enjoyment by chanting or reading or reflection or hearing, then what happens? This multiple personality disorder will go away. Why? Because right now I feel like I'm so many people. Who am I now? Am I the person that I am with my kids? Am I the person with my husband? Am I the person here? Am I the person here? Who am I? I don't know. So many thoughts are coming in my mind. Aneka chitta vibhranta. Who do we think we are right now? Our desire. Who are we? Our desire. This is who we are. Is it not? Is it not? We are our desires. And what is the desire? Desire is based on association. If I associate with someone, desires are not coming from the soul. We should not think, I feel like this. No, you don't feel like that. You associated with someone who has a desire like that. Therefore, the desire was borrowed from that place. That is why Krishna says, Sangat sanjayate kamaha. What does Krishna say? Sangat sanjayate kamaha. I feel like that. No, you will never feel like that. You would have associated compulsorily with someone who actually gave a sense of enjoying that desire. Wow, we said, wow, I also want to enjoy that. From Sangha only is coming Kama. You understand? Right? Understand? So, we are identifying with that Kama now. I am that Kama. Now, there are so many different types of Kamas. Now, I do not know where am I. Who am I? I don't know. This is called Aneka Chitta Vibhranta. Vibhranta, yeah, I am deluded. This desire also I am having, that desire also I am having, this desire. But this desire to satisfy, there are 5 obstacles. Desire to satisfy, there are 3 obstacles. The desire, the another person is competing with me. What will I do? 3 desires. Okay, this desire will not be satisfied. At least one desire I need to have. But that also doesn't seem very good now. You are worried. Aneka Chitta Vibhranta. You are bewildered. Every person in this world is bewildered. Because there are so many flashes, it's flashing on him. Go. Samudram apaha pravishanti advat. It's flashing on the shore. No, enjoy. Go touch this. Go eat this. Go see this. Go and smell this. It is pushing me. Go, go, go. And I am obeying. I am obeying. By more and more obedience, my identity with that desire increases. And more that identity increases, the more I will act on the desire further. And the more I act, the identity becomes even more. In this way, there is a tight knot that you can never question the fact, what do I have to do with this? What do I have to do with this? Say I'm fighting for Liverpool. Say I'm following football, or I'm saying Chennai Super Kings, CSK. So if CSK wins or CSK loses, both ways, if sad if CSK wins, or if I'm sad CSK loses, whatever it is, my identification with IPL increases. And by identification with IPL, I am borrowing unnecessary false sorrow and false happiness. I have nothing to do with IPL. But I'm identifying with that desire. Right? In this way, I am borrowing some unnecessary, nothing to do with me. What do I have to do with something going on in Bangalore or Delhi or whatever it is? I don't have anything to do with this. But I'm imposing my identity there, investing, and I have to support, I have to take a stand now. What stand? I don't need to have a stand. I don't need to have a position. I don't need to have an opinion. But I think I need to have an opinion. Because I don't know sufficiently to have an opinion. And even if I have an opinion, I can't solve it. But somehow I think I need to have an opinion. So 2 people are fighting. So whose opinion? What? I take this side. Why should you take someone's side? This is called Sangha. This is called Sangha. So many desires are flashing on my mind. And I identify with everything here. I poke my nose. Aneka Chitta Vibhranta. And if I win in some desire, I become proud. If I lose in some desire, whoever was the competitor, I see him as my enemy. This is the demoniac person's strategy. I got the desire, no, I bought. What did you buy? You have a Honda, I have a BMW. Hey, because I won this desire, I feel proud. I feel proud now. So, when there is satisfaction of lust, we become proud. We become proud. And a proud heart, it is a very sad heart. It is a very sad heart. And if Kamam is not satisfied, I see him as enemy. Hey, that person idamadyamaya ladvayam prapse manoratam idamastidam api me bhavishyati punardhanam asomaya hata shatru anisheya pranapi. He is my shatru. He is my shatru. He is my shatru. I am great. I have many people's following. In this way, we live in a la-la land. And Asura is a person who is successful in his la-la land because of his past karma. right? And any defeat to his Lala land, he sees others are the reason for that. And he starts instigating, like Ravana thought, the Shurpanaka actually, like the whole Ramayana is because of Shurpanaka, not Ravana. Because Shurpanaka only instigates Ravana. Hey, you see, I person. What? Don't you have, you completely, disfigured your sister and you're not doing anything? So Shurpanaka incited. So she did two things actually. She made Ravana feel insecure about his kshatriyatvam, and then she incited his lust also by glorifying Sita Devi, because if I just made him insecure, then that will not be sufficient, right? I have to also make sure, because Asura wants something, he wants to have some stake. If you say there is something in him in stake, he will work anyhow, like he will work hard for it. You don't have to do anything. You just have to convince him there is something in him for it. So she convinced him, if you do this, Sita Devi is there, you can get her. It's very nice. So Shurpanaka, like Ravana was always thinking this Asuratvam, and anyone who stood against him, he wanted to completely cut off. Anyone who stood against my desire. So Shurpanaka, Sita Devi only is stopping my desire. Shurpanaka thought, I'll finish Sita Devi. This is the nature. This is the nature. Whoever is stopping my desire is bad. This is the whole phenomenon of this material world. Is enemy and friend is merely false. There is nothing called enemy or friend. Enemy and friend exists with respect to what you identify with. Before someone could become an enemy or friend, there is an identity game that you are participating before that can actually come into the picture. First, I will identify, I need respect. And then you have to disrespect me. And then I feel bad that you are my enemy. If I actually understand I am beyond respect or disrespect, I am actually pure spirit soul, there can not be friend or enemy. This is what Krishna is consistently saying in the Bhagavad Gita. So we should go beyond an identity that is simply composed of what we feel based on our association. Understand? We should go beyond this. This is not we are. This is borrowed identity. Desire is borrowed identity. This is not ours. And that person has also borrowed it from someone else. He is also not his. It is also borrowed. And whatever he is borrowed, he himself is not happy. So this is all like a matrix. Chitta vibhranta, moha jala. Everyone is in a net right now. We are in a net. We are captivated in that net. We are attracted to this net like birds caught. We are all caught in this net, moha jala. But while being in this moha jala, the greatness of this moha jala is that we don't know we are in this jal. We don't know we are in this net. We think we are actually free. We are actually free. This is the very subtle net, sukshma jalam. This is not sthula jalam. It is a very sukshma jalam. Right? We can't see these nets. We can't see all the desires that are entangling me. We don't see this actually. So, when will this net be cut? What is the rat that can gnaw? You know this word, right? Not G-N-A-W. Gnaw through these nets. So, this is actually when our pride comes down. Our pride can come down when there are failures in our life. So, which is why a devotee is very grateful when actually something actually is unsettled, because that gives an opportunity for this moha jalam to be cut. Because if there is constantly you are fanning your disease, there is disease, but I'm constantly eating, and whenever I feel bad, I'm putting a Tylenol and ibuprofen. Then this will not work. At some point, your what do you say? Your blood work is going to become very bad. right? Your health is going to become very bad. Similarly, we are simply arresting, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that. At some point, it'll explode. That is very good for your body. Because that if that happens, earlier it happens, the sooner you will take action and you will not simply popping a Tylenol and ibuprofen. You will not do that. That's what we are doing right now. Popping ibuprofen and Tylenol is that I feel bad. Okay, watch Netflix. Okay, watch this. Okay, watch that. Okay, go out. Okay, shout at someone. Buy this. Shop. This is like popping something. But how long will it go like this? So a devotee is actually, every person actually, when he's miserable, it's a great opportunity, because every misery actually reduces our pride. And wherever there is less pride, there is a great opportunity to reflect on our priorities, reflect on who we are, where are we going, what is the real wealth of life, all of these important questions. Prasaktaha kama bhogeshu. So this person, he's simply absorbed because he's never questioning his philosophy. To question one's philosophy takes enormous advancement. Enormous advancement. Why am I living? Which means you're questioning your philosophy. If someone questions my actions only, I feel so angry. Correct? If someone questions my actions, I feel so angry because I feel those actions are me. Action is me. Right? I washed like this. This action is me. Because you questioned this action, you have questioned me. But this action is not me. This is what we learn in Bhagavad Gita. Whatever we think we are, there are so many people coming together. Krishna says, anyone knows the shloka? There are 5 things that comprise an action. Who knows the shloka from 18th chapter? Adhishtanam tatha karta. How does it start? 18.33. You can Google maybe Adhishtanam. How does it start? I forgot. No, it is not the start of the verse. Start of the verse. Adhishtanam tatha karta karanam cha pratak vidham vividaha da pratak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam. There are 5 constituents for an action. 18.14 Krishna mentions this. If you are having a hard bound, it is 670. So adhishtana tatha karta. There are 5 things that comprise an action. 5 things that comprise an action. So we should not think, I am only cooking, I am only speaking. So when we become purified, we will become attentive. We will become attentive. This is the beginning sign of purification. When you become attentive, you can actually see that whatever you thought of as yourself is actually not you. This is called purification. When I become purified, I'll actually understand this vessels I'm washing, or this speaking, the speech I'm giving, or whatever it is. That sense of I is not the real reason for this to do all of it. It is being done automatically, almost automatically. When we are driving, you can see this. You are speaking to so many people and yet you are driving, is it not? How is it being driven? It is being done by the modes of material nature, prakriti, adhishtana tatha karta. And your bodily momentum, the habits, and the habits are nothing but an expression of the modes of material nature you have associated with. So there are so many things that are coming together, and there are the devatas, daivam saivatra panchamam. So many, and your endeavor, and your icha, your ulterior motive, everything is doing an action. So we should not think, to think I am doing this action is not simply proud or egotistical. Sometimes we think like that. Hey, he's saying he only did everything. I also helped, no. But it is not a matter of ego only. It is a matter of actually ignorance. You know what is the word ignorance? How does the word ignorance come from? To ignore. Ignorance comes from the root word to ignore. Ignore reality. This is called ignorance. When we purposefully ignore what is actually real, that is called ignorance. So to do something, everything takes so many agencies. So when we are attentive, we will understand, like I'm doing an action, we can understand actually I am doing this action in this way because I've been trained in a certain way. I have been I had certain samskaras, I had certain associations, I had certain impressions, and based on these impressions, sometimes I become suddenly unhappy. Suddenly I think of someone as bad, or suddenly I judge someone too soon, or suddenly I put people into buckets, or I do something too hastily. So there are so many samskaras I can have, and these are because of my associations. But I need not be this continuously, because this is not me. Because if you reduce yourselves to those things, you never have a chance to change. Whatever you think you are, you can never change that. Understand? Whatever you think you are, you have decided this is who I am, you can never change that. If you think you are a smoker, like I'm a smoker, your strong idea is there, I'm a smoker. You can never quit smoking, because the identity that I am a smoker is so strong that you'll be surprised if you find yourself not smoking for a month. Hey, I am a smoker. How am I not smoking? This is so deep rooted. So when people suffer so much that they are no longer able to embrace the identity that I am a smoker, they are forced to choose an identity outside of a smoker. Most people, it takes an enormous amount of pain to actually go through to shift that identity. So whatever you think you are, you can never change that. I am a person who wakes up late. You'll continue to wake up late. I am a person who's not interested in spiritual life. You'll never be interested because you think you are that. You are that, and we have decided you are that, which means your identity is powering that thought. It is powering that thought. I will not do this. I will chant only so many rounds. I will read Bhagavad Gita only so much. We all have these conditionings. Conditionings means these limitations. I am this only. This is how much I can spend for spiritual life. This is how much I can give up. This is how I think this is what it is. So in this way, this I is powering so many things. We don't realize that. But anyway, my point is I started this. It takes enormous courage to actually question our philosophy. That's how I started. Because we get threatened even when someone questions our actions. Questions our actions. Because we identify with our actions. We identify with the mind. We identify with thoughts. We identify with our habits. Do you question my integrity? How dare you think like this? So we feel threatened. Why do we feel threatened? Because we don't have another recourse of identity. I mean, I'm going a little deeper. Is everyone able to follow what I'm saying, or is it flying over your head? Reasonably follow, right? So because this granular analysis is required for us to make advancement. If you don't actually analyze this properly, we can't question whether we are making advancement or not. So on the mental level, we also feel threatened. Why do we feel threatened when someone corrects us? Because we don't have a recourse of an identity. We don't have an alternative. Okay, I have a son, I have a daughter, I have a job. My daughter leaves me, I feel unhappy. Why? My identity is invested in the idea that I'm a father too much, and that is being forcefully taken away. I feel. So whose fault was it to invest your identity in all of that? My fault. I'm investing my identity in so many places. Just like people invest in stocks. You invest somewhere, invest 15,000, 10,000, 4,000, 3,000, 200, 300 in so many things. And suddenly something goes up. You go like, it went away. It went up, it goes down. went up, go down. Why did you have to invest? You don't have to invest. So sarvadharman parityajya means whatever identity that I have invested, which I don't have to, you take all of that back. And you, after taking all of that back, you repose it somewhere else. No, you repose it in yourself, which means you understand who you are, and which is that I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. Right? Swarupena avasthitihi. You are not investing in something else. No. I am staying as myself. I'm staying as myself. What is that? Jivera Swarupoi Krishnera Nityadas. And this is called Brahmabhuta platform, where you understand, oh, this is very nice. I'm not anything of this. Then I'll start doing bhakti. But this Asura cannot divest this identity from something external, because he's very absorbed. The right word is that he is very infatuated with the external glitter. He can't penetrate that layer. He can't penetrate that layer. He can't see what's beneath it. He can't see what's beneath it. He can only see the external reality. This is called maturity. What does maturity mean? Maturity means when you're trying to see beyond what meets the eye. Correct? So the more one becomes Krishna consciousness, advance in Krishna consciousness, one becomes more mature, because one can see beyond. Okay, this is what you are saying. I understand, but I understand why you are pained. This person is shouting, but you can see the pain in his shouting. You can see the pain. Like Srila Prabhupada. Someone was playing golf, right? And the golf, this thing was putting, all the old men were all, playing. But Prabhupada was crying. Why is Prabhupada crying? They're playing golf. Very nice. Old men, 70-year-old men, they're playing golf. Prabhupada saying, 70-year-old, but still they're meditating on how to put a ball into a hole. Right? A valuable form of human life. They can actually solve all their issues. And Prabhupada, there was a streak of tear coming from Prabhupada's eyes. He was compassionate. He was compassionate seeing someone meditating on how to pull a ball into a hole. Of course, you can meditate on so many things. You can solve so many problems in this world. But what problem do you want to solve that will actually solve all the problems? That is intelligence, is it not? There are, like, in your company, there are so many problems to solve. But you solve all the problems or what? No. If you solve all the problems, you'll never stop working. Is it not? Similarly, in our life, there are so many things you can solve. You can watch a video on so many things. You can watch a video on the different types of tables available in Target, in Walmart, in Costco, and then spend 2 hours buying this table. I can spend this time. Of course, the data is there, right? I can choose to waste my time like that, or I can try to understand how different cats mew. Right? This cat mews like this, or this dog barks like that, right? Which dog has the most poisonous? Which snake? I'm just, like you can go on a random thought trip, and you take anything. Prabhupada said, you can take a blade of grass and you can write volumes of materials on it. Is it not? Is it not? Right? Right? Where was Prabhu's glass made? What is the material? Is it polycarbonate? Is not polycarbonate? Right? And what is the glass? What is it, concave or convex? How does concave lens work? How does convex lens work? How does bifocal lens work? Oh my God, you can keep going. Right? But what is that thought? What is the problem if you solve? That you actually become more clear. Solve that problem. Why chase data that is useless? Why chase data that is useless? Any other data that doesn't actually make me happy, what is the use of that data? Just noise. Just noise. Switch off that noise. Right? So Asura means he's absorbed in the externalities. He can't see actually what is real. He can't see what is real. He can only see the glitter. He can only see the packaging. That's all he's capable of seeing. And a pure devotee can see the whole reality. Whole reality. This is called Tattva Jnanam. Tattva Jnanam means to see the whole sum reality. right now, here and now, if you see it, then so very clear as sky. That is what we need to become, to have that clarity, to have the reality. But this is not possible. This is not cheap. We need training, right? We should not let our senses roam in this world. If you have your senses roaming this world and munching everything you see, right, then good luck. Good luck. Aneka chitta vibhranta mohajala samavrataha. That's what you want, okay, get. But if at all you're thinking, I want something better than this roaming of the senses I have done for so long, right? Letting my senses roam in this world and munch here, munch there, see this, see that. I've had enough of this. Enough. Now let me turn to actually ask the question, who am I? Why am I here? What is happiness? What is distress? Right? So let me reflect, let me become sober. Let me become sober. Dhirastatra na muhyati. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra na muhyati. Dhiraha. Dhiraha means one who is sober. One of the symptoms of dhira is that he doesn't talk too much. So control your sense of talking. Control your sense of talking. Talking in this world also, current context also means browsing. Browsing. Because we're meditating on someone else's useless talking. Correct? So that is also talking. You're hearing someone else's useless banter. So the more and more you're plugged on to that reality, you will never even have a smell, like what you say, a fragrance of what Krishna consciousness is. You can't know. You'll simply, see it from outside. He said something, I heard this, and I came back. Like you have to taste it. You have to enjoy it. You have to relish it. And how will you have it? Do tapasya. What is tapasya? Get up early in the morning, chant Hare Krishna mantra, hear Bhagavad Gita, resist your urges to simply check on this, check on that for a month, or for an hour at least every day, not for a whole day, hour at least, 2 hours at least. Then how will you experience who you really are? If our whole time is spent on our falsely invested identity, where is the time for actually understanding what is my real identity? My falsely invested identity is only coming out right now in my speech, in my actions, in my thoughts, in my everything is merely a false manifestation of my ignorance. Is it not? What I'm doing is a manifestation of my ignorance. That's all it is. So everyone's so my ignorance clashes with his ignorance or this ignorance, then there is fight. That's all. So this is Shastra Chakshusha. So patanti naraki ashuchau. So people they do not know what is happiness. Because they do not know what is happiness, they do not know how much money they need. Right? They do not know how much money they need because they do not know what is happiness. So they are actually insecure about their position. And they think only money can ward off that insecurity. And they have money until the end of their life and they still find that still I feel insecure. You see? So that's what Prabhupada is telling. And he's enamored by the possessions. And he doesn't understand that it is all because of so many people coming into my life. I mentioned overall perspective he doesn't have. So, and very nice Prabhupada, when a point Prabhupada brings, that he thinks other people are his enemies, friends and enemy. This is something Prahlad Maharaj brings over and over again. Conception of friend and enemy. Para sway. Para sway. So, Rite Ajitendriyat. So, Prahlad Maharaj telling, except the uncontrolled mind, my dear father, there is no other enemy. So, what is the transition from this Asura to a Deva? How can I become? Because whenever I read the 16th chapter, I feel like, as I mentioned many times, I feel like I'm looking into a mirror. Correct? So, how do we transition from being a demoniac minded person who's obsessed over the externals, who doesn't know how to pick his battles? All right? So, what is the transition? How does it happen? Right? The strongest transition you can make, right, to kill the demon inside is to actually meditate on how I am demoniac. Because a demon can never understand he's bad. So, the more and more a person can meditate on his bad qualities, depending on the Lord, he can meditate on his past activities. Krishna, how foolishly I have spoken before, how foolishly I have acted, how foolishly my time has wasted. Asatere satta kari mani. I thought actually I am this body. I thought if I, all this respect is what is life. I thought that, I'll just enjoy my senses. And in this pursuit, Prabhupada is telling, I thought I can live at the sacrifice of all others. This is the criteria of a demoniac person, which means what? He wants to take seva. He wants to live at the sacrifice of someone else. Live at the sacrifice of someone else. I live at the sacrifice of my parents. Right? I will live with the sacrifice of my husband. I will live at the sacrifice of my wife. So this is very bad mentality. Bad mentality. This is demoniac mentality. I should think how I can sacrifice my life for Krishna. And if I'm not thinking I will sacrifice my life for Krishna, other types of sacrifice, what it will do is you'll start expecting. So we are not preaching the philosophy, sacrifice your time for your family. No, we won't say that. Sorry, I can't say that. Because if you sacrifice your time for the family, for the sake of family, then you start expecting. Right? I sacrificed my time for you. What did you do for me? I did so much household work. What did you do? I washed the vessels. What did you do? I took care of the children. I am going to work. What did you do? My work is harder than yours. This comparison will come. Why? Because one is sacrificing for the sake of family. Sacrificing for the sake of family. Sometimes we feel this, right? I did so much, but no one recognized it. How many of you felt like that? I've done so much, but no one has recognized that. I was thinking about this when I was driving back. All right, how do we overcome that? So I was thinking, Yad karoshi yadashnasi. Krishna is so kind. Whatever you feel you have done and others have not recognized it, recognized you for that. Krishna is so kind. Even right now, you can sacrifice that activity for Krishna and you can offer that to Krishna. Krishna, this whole activity, no one took cognizance of it. I'm offering that activity for you, Krishna. I'm offering it to you. You can do that. Right? No one saw me. No one congratulated me for washing the dishes. No one congratulated me. I'm taking so hard of the kids. I'm taking so care of my mother-in-law, but she's not even telling one word. Or she's not telling. No one is taking care of what I'm doing. But saying, Krishna, I'm offering it to you. The same activity of taking care of my mother-in-law only or my daughter-in-law only, I'm offering it to you, Krishna. Immediately you will feel like, Abadi, I've never felt so much pressure in my life. I've never felt more burden coming off my heart. You'll feel like that. You'll feel like that. So when we offer service to Krishna, immediately our demoniac nature will come down. Asurastad viparyayaha. Vishnu bhakta bhaved daivaha. Asurastad viparyayaha. So you can offer your anything to Krishna. You can offer your activity to Krishna. You can offer your endeavor to Krishna. You can offer Krishna's service easily. Krishna, I drove 30 minutes from here to here. I offer this 30 minutes drive to you, Krishna. Right? In my busy life, I'm not able to offer anything. I'm offering this, the lowest offering I can make. I know this is a useless offering. I don't know what you will only get by this offering. But somehow I want to offer you something. Please take this offering and purify me. Right? In this way, you will become purified. Of course, this might not be the best offering. But even if it is not the best offering, Krishna is so kind. So you can offer anything to Krishna. Krishna, I'm bathing This bathing, I'm offering it to you, Krishna. This bathing, how do I offering it to you? Because this is your energy. This is your energy only I'm doing. And you are staying within my heart as Krishna, and I'm bathing you. Please, right? Take this as my offering to you. You see, you can't do that. Why not? Where is Krishna? Not there. Where is Krishna? Not there. Antarbhi avastitam. Krishna is there everywhere. Alaksham sarvabhutanam antirbhi avastitam. Alaksham sarvabhutanam is present everywhere. In this speech I can offer to Krishna. This time I can offer to Krishna. This food I can offer to Krishna. Anything you can offer to Krishna. And by doing that, by offering to Krishna, this asura buddhi will go out. So by repenting on our past activities, this is what Prahlad Maharaj himself is doing. Prahlad Maharaj is doing in his stuti. So Prahlad Maharaj is doing in his stuti that did I mention this last time? I don't remember. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, let me get the right prayer. So it's telling, Trashnosmiham kripanavatsala dussahogra samsara chakra kadanat grasatam pranitaha baddhasvakarma virushatamatте angri moolam prito bavarga sharanam vayase kadanu. Trashtosmyaham kripanavatsala dussahogra samsara chakra kadanat. Right? He's telling, I am not afraid of your frowning eyebrows. Naham bibem ajitete ati bhayanakasya jihvarka netra brukuti rabho sogra damstrat. Naham bibemi, I am not afraid of ajita te ati bhayanakasya. It is very ati bhayanaka, it is very fearsome. What is ati bhayanakasya? Jihva arka netram. Your tongue, your eyes which are shining like the sun, your frowning eyebrows, your strong ferocious teeth, and your body which is garlanded by Hiranyakashipu's intestine. I am not afraid of all these things. What am I afraid? Trashtosmyaham. I am very afraid. Kripana Vatsala. You are very, is glorifying Narasimhadev as who is merciful even to a Kripana. You know who is a Kripana? Kripana means miser. So what does miserly mean? Miserly means have something enormously, something very great, but I am not using it. Kripana means a foolish person who does not know how to enjoy. It's called Kripana. So Kripana Vatsala, I am a Kripana and you are Kripana Vatsala. Hey Kripana Vatsala, Trashtosmi. Trashtosmi means I am very afraid. Trashtaha, I am very frightened. I am very afraid of this. What are you afraid? Dussaha Ugra. Dussaha. Dussaha means I cannot do, Saha means to tolerate. We have to say Amanina, what is this? Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna. Saha is coming, right? Sahishnuna means to tolerate. Dussaha means intolerable. Dussaha Ugra. This Ugram, what is Ugram? Samsara Chakra. This cycle of birth and death. Samsara Chakra Kadanat. In the Samsaram, you are my only recourse. Samsara Chakra Kadanat Grasatam Pranitaha Baddha Swakarmabihi Ushatamate Angri Moolam Prita Upavarga Fayase Kadanu. I am only afraid of the bad association I have fallen into in the samsara chakra. And if I associate with these asura people, I myself am not a very nice devotee. And associating with them, I can forget who I am. I can again come into this idea that have to chase something outside, and they'll be lost for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Years can pass away like that. One sangha you have, for one kama, for one desire, you can waste 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. That's all. Five very strong desires, 50 years gone. That's all. This is what Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj is telling. Right? Baliyasa, mohena cha baliyasa. It's very baliyas. Baliyas means very strong. You can waste your life like that for something very cheap. For something very cheap. So I'm very much afraid of this condition of life with this material world. I have put into the association of demon-like people. I'm very afraid. So he's telling, this is what I'm afraid. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling, though he's an asura, he's telling this is the way you can get out of asuratvam, which means what? To lament about my previous asura-like activities. I have plenty of asura-like activities in the past and the present. Asura-like activities means what? To put someone in trouble for my own enjoyment. For my own enjoyment, I don't care how much I put others into trouble. Even right now, am I not doing? I'm spending so much plastic putting into Bhumi Devi. Is it not? Am I not doing so much trouble for others? For my own easily enjoyment. Even while using Vishaka's diapers, that's what I'm doing. The diapers will not decompose. Is it not? Now I'm putting someone else in trouble for my own enjoyment. Is it not? Even for the basic thing, Kali Yuga person means he will put someone in trouble. He will not hesitate to put someone in trouble for his own enjoyment. This whole Kali Yuga civilization, whatever they are calling advancement, is simply a facility to enjoy oneself unrestrictedly. This is called Asura's conception of enjoyment. You have to enjoy unrestrictedly. And you don't give a damn what happens to the world, what happens to others. I don't care. I have to enjoy. This is what they call advancement. These rascals, the civilization, and these rascals includes me also, right? This is what they call as advancement. To give others trouble for my own enjoyment. For my iPhone, someone else is in trouble. For everything, I'm causing someone trouble. For my enjoyment. Right? For my meat eating, I will cut turkeys on assembly line. How? Why should I give someone trouble for my enjoyment? Why? So a devotee always tries to cause the most minimum harm for others. For others. He doesn't want to cause anyone any harm. Like we were discussing this, right? This Mrigari, he was not even wanting to step on the ants after he became a pure devotee. Narada is telling, Mrigari, you are a hunter. After you are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, when I come back, who is this person? I am not able to identify you. And this one sadhu with long beard and everything was not even wanting to step on ants. A person who was killing animals live doesn't even want to step on ants. This is called Krishna consciousness. So, Prabhupada wanted to create an alternative to this demoniac civilization, which is meant for one's own enjoyment unlimitedly, which cause oneself also trouble, others also trouble, earth planet also trouble, everyone is in trouble. This is called Asuric civilization. Krishna consciousness means I am also happy, you are also happy, everyone is happy. This is called Krishna consciousness. At the same time, immediate enjoyment. So what does this world need? Material enjoyment or Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness. What do I need? Material enjoyment or Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness. This is what I need. And the more and more I turn towards material association, this idea that enjoyment is somewhere outside will increase. This disease will increase. This is what is telling. I'll just finish with the shloka. Yasmat priya viyoga samyoga janma shokagnida sakala yoni shudahyamanaha dukkaushadam tadapi dukkam atadiyaham bhuman brahmami vadame tavadasya yogam. Prahlad Maharaj telling, Yasmat priya viyoga samyoga janma. What is this material world? Priya viyoga samyoga janma. Whatever is dear and undear, I am uniting and separation. uniting and separation. So I want to do samyogam for priyam and viyogam from apriyam. This is what I'm meditating. Correct? So yasmat priya priya viyoga samyoga janma, and this one, what is it causing? Shokagnina. In this Agni called the Shokam, this lamentation, Sakala Yonishu Dahyamanaha. All the living entities are actually Dahyamanam. Dahyamana means what? They are actually being cooked in this sorrow. Sakala Yonishu Dahyamanaha. They are burning in a fire of lamentation because of combination of pleasing and unpleasing circumstances. And there are many solutions to these problems. But you know what? The solutions are more problematic than the problems themselves. Bring a solution, but solution is more problematic than the problem itself. Maybe you can tolerate the problem only. That is better. Right? I don't like this boy, so I'm getting divorced from this boy. I'm marrying again. But what? What is the guarantee the other boy is good? Right? Other girl is good. What is the guarantee? No guarantee. No guarantee. Right? I'm having a dating relationship. I'm living with someone. Why are you living with someone? Because I can't commit to this person. I want to test out. Okay, you test out. You're not good. What will you do? I'll jump. You'll jump, and then what? What is the guarantee? No, I'll jump again. I'll jump again. I'll jump again. I'll jump once, twice, thrice, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. What is the guarantee? The solution that you have to solve this uncertainty is more problematic than the problem itself. Is it not? So, if one wants solutions, one must actually understand what is actually reality. Then one will find the solution. How do I find a good spouse? Good, that is a good question. But if I'm trying to solve it with my own mind, then what happens? The solutions are more problematic than the problem itself. This is what Prahlad Maharaj is telling. Very nice things he is telling. Dukkha aushadam tadapi dukkha madadhyaham. This dukkha, I'm thinking it is aushadam. For this medicine, for this dukkham, tadapi dukkham. That is also dukkham only. Tadapi dukkham. Atadhyaham. It leads one to more unreality. In this way, Bhuman, hey Lord, Brahmami. I am roaming in this world like this. I am seeing a solution, but it is more problematic than the problem itself. In this way, Brahmami, I am roaming in this world. Vadame tavadasya yogam. Now, enough of this roaming. Please make me your servant. Tavadasya yogam. Enough of this. So, if you want to put a full stop to this Brahmam, to this samsara Brahmam, right? Going outside, roaming here, touching this, touching that. Enough, right? I want to be happy. Right? If you have concluded like that, come to the right place, the lotus feet of Bhagavad Gita, at the lotus feet of the Lord. Right? This is what many sadhus have done. So you have come to the right place. Chant Hare Krishna mantra, have the association of devotees, give a bad association, take this process sincerely, and in this life we can actually go back home, back to God. Stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome. Any questions or comments? Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yogam. Understand? Very interesting, right? Very deep, right? How many of you thought this shloka is very deep? Very deep, right? This is the nature of Bhagavad Gita, it's very deep. As we go into every shloka, we find minds and so much meaning. Every word has so much meaning, right? So Aneka Chitta Vibhranta, this Bhrantam, we just expanded on this Chitta Vibhranta. Everyone is bewildered. Any other comments? Sachinadan Prabhu, you have any comments?
Just one comment.
You had any comments before?
Please go ahead. Please.
I was just like thinking, Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that the world is currently like, I mean, how the demonic people thinks that wouldn't need God put everything in the bucket. And you see something you believe is capture then the world is more degrading for the last 40, 50 years since Prabhupada time on this also. So it's so filled with all those demonic people, and then it's so engrossed, and then it's like the world is more like creatures, especially like where first they should help themselves, they should save themselves from this demonic views, and then they can expand themselves to others actually. So
Very nice point.
it's like, I'm feeling very grateful, like, be part of this community, at least, like, because outside is like, the Maya Jala actually. When you step out of the temple, when you step out of the association, just like Brother Maharaj prays, like, I'm so scared of this association. So like he got devoted association when he's in the womb itself. So it's very rare opportunity actually, and we can't imagine if we take birth again after 200 years, 300 years, so how bad it would be. And then it's common to eat like another man maybe, so could be much worse than that. So I don't have that feeling, but like when I actually constantly meditate on that one, like okay, this is the lifetime where just very hard and go back and do ahead. But when you at least constantly meditating on that, one day like you'll really like decide, okay, that's it, no other things. So like Srila Prabhupada said, like when devotee says like, Prabhupada, I'm not getting feeling to chant. Feeling comes later, you just start chanting first actually. Same all these things that we say, like I'm Prabhu, you are the best, like I'm so humble, maybe like I don't know anything, maybe like this is the only life, I should go back to Krishna. Sometimes we don't feel, but we still say them, we still practice them as part of etiquette, or maybe as part of the association that we get through. But the goal is like we actually get that feeling, and then wrap up the business and go back. Otherwise, this world is just like very scary, full of all these atheistic people and demonic people. What is people of atheist, demonic, even the so-called spiritualists also have misunderstandings with others. So very difficult actually. So I just want to mention the point too. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. Yeah.
So I think this is one of the best like sessions I've ever been in. I've been trying to like Krishna conscious, but I think this is one of the most important session that I've ever been. And past, I think since the moment that like I heard the whole Bhagavad Gita, and like I've been trying to practice and like being in so many sessions and chanting rounds and everything. The most important or the most problematic thing that I was facing was like what Krishna mentioned in chapter 2, like we're not the body of the soul. I'm like, what is the main reason why I know all of this, but at the same time, this is like just a theory, and like you're not the body or the soul. Like how you have presented today, in a very practical way with like very practical examples, actually touched me, and I'm extremely grateful to you for this incredible session. And I do want to like meditate more on it, right? Like hopefully like seeing the video, and definitely coming back to you. Thanks so much.
Thanks to my spiritual Shiksha Gurus. They gave this insightful vision. I mean, so as Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj, who actually spoke like on a more granular level in my initial days, he always breaks it down like that. So, so maybe I owe it to him. So, thank you.
Prabhu, in a simple way, if you can see, we all are caught in the net of Jana, in the other way, every single day. So, other than chanting, what else is the ones that we should follow to make sure that we are not falling down? Like Prabhupada mentions that, right? I mean, you keep sliding down if you're not in the association, plus if you're not in the material activities that you do in day to day. How to not slide down?
See, if you're asking the question apart from chanting, I mean, see, the way I see it in a generic way is that there must be a sense of reflection on one's own activities. It could be in the activity of chanting, or it could be while hearing, it could be while being alone. I don't know what it is for everyone. It's different for everyone. But there must be a strong vision inside, inward, of who am I? There must be a doubt on this current way of life, accompanied by hearing, right? So this guided reflection is basically hearing, Right? So hearing is guided reflection. So the reflection has to happen. When this reflection is powered, the external activities might take the shape of hearing or chanting or surrendering or arati, or these are this, in one sense they are all different activities, yes, but in another sense they are the same principle, because you are coming to the spiritual platform. So the way we can come to the spiritual platform is by the way I've heard is, you hear and you reflect. If you can, you hear and you pray. If you can, you hear and repent. If you can, even better, hear and beg. Okay, so hear and reflect is the first step. If you're not reflecting, if you're not alone, if you think this is reality, then that is true. Yeah, that's where we are caught. We are in trouble. We are in trouble. So we should be eager to come into good association, which can challenge our illusions. The strong hard knot should be tied out, and the person must be seeing the reality face to face. Reading Prabhupada's purports. So here, reflect big. But the thing is, chanting must become very sweet. That is a symptom. If chanting has become very sweet in one's own life, that means his intelligence has become one-pointed. All the thoughts have actually converged. So we should hear until we repent, and repent means we ask Krishna, say, I did this, I did that. So all the knots, the more and more we repent, all these knots are tuck, tuck, tuck. The moha jala is like cutting the knots, tuck, 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 tuck. But if we are not repenting our past activities, that means we are not, see, repenting is a understanding the intensity of the foolishness of the activity. You can't repent if you don't understand the intensity of the foolishness. You understand it's foolish, it is a little more passive. You understand the intensity of the foolishness, you say, what is it? What have I done? Then you repent.
But ego comes in between.
Huh?
Ego comes in between.
And ego or not, I am foolish. I have done for my own pain only. Or everything I have done in my life is for my pain only. Right? What have I done for my own benefit, for my own shreyas? What have I done? This conclusion must come while hearing. So while hearing, we must feel separated from everything outside. We must not again feel connected from here, I am connected to this. I am separate from all of this. This must come while hearing. This is why Prabhupada is saying, you are not the body, you are not the soul. When Prabhupada says, you are not the body, you are the soul, this feeling must come. Or when Prabhupada says, you will die, what is the purpose of spiritualists constantly saying, you are die, you are die? What is the purpose of that? The consciousness must separate from something external. So when this death philosophy comes, the separation has to happen. So if that is not happening, continue to hear and reflect. At one point it will happen. That's like keep on taking the this thing, you take the, I don't know what you call in English. When my father, he used to take the coconut and he used to break the coconut with the, what do you call it? The Tamil they say aruva, spade, right? Spade or whatever. Sickle, okay. So you keep on hitting it, sometimes it won't. And then you keep on hitting the same place, tuck, 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 and then one day it will break. Right? Similarly, you should keep on hammering the same point with Shraddha. Yes, 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 yes. One point will break. Yes, and then one day will break. And then you will open, the coconut will open. Right? So that's the way you have to keep hearing, hammer, 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 hammer. And then Dham. You will see, yes. Suddenly there will be a peak. There will be one moment you will realize, actually, I am actually soul. And then because you are not surrendered, again you will come back to the material platform. But one moment you realize, right, your Shraddha will increase so much. Right? Yes. Yes, it's true. Krishna will give you one peak. Right? Now you don't need logic and all that, because you've seen it. But you've seen it only once, little bit, you've not even seen it fully. You've seen little bit only. But you see some, like, at least, yes, it's come to your experience, right? When this comes to the experience, how much ever someone convinces, you can't go away. So that anubhavam, it must come. Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatpara samyatendriya jnanam laddha param shanti masirena adi gacchati. So that comes, that is called jnanam. Who can get jnanam? Shraddha. What is shraddha? Consistently hear that this will break, with the hope that this will break. This knot will break. I'll keep hitting. This is called shraddha. When you have this shraddha and keep hitting, one day it will break. Whoever doesn't have shraddha, they will go away after one hitting. It's not breaking. Nothing is there inside. Only very, very, a rough coconut only is there. Nothing is there. Right? Spiritual life is boring. So they will come here once and they'll go away. People who have shraddha, they'll keep hitting. So who has shraddha, who doesn't have shraddha will decide. Yes. Yes. The goal of life is to be selfish, because everyone in this world is selfish. Right now, selfishness is bad because it is false selfish. So when you are coming to the real platform of selfishness, we will actually become selfless naturally. So in this material world, even selflessness right now is another form of false selfishness. When people are trying to be selfless right now, they want to be selfish only. Falsely selfish, bad selfish, I'm saying. But when you become genuinely selfish, you will actually understand the nature of the soul is to serve Krishna. So the natural nature of the soul is to serve Krishna, means Krishna and his parts and parcels. To be selfless. So selflessness is possible only when one is genuinely selfish. You understand who you are. My nature itself is that only, no? Why should I cheat? If my nature is not to serve him, then after serving Sai Ram Prabhu, I think, Sai Ram Prabhu, what will you do for me? I gave you, I glorified you yesterday. Today you glorify me here. Because it's not my nature. I'm not doing it naturally. When I'm doing it naturally, I won't expect. Is it not? So the goal of yoga is to come to the Atma, our real nature. Right? You can't escape from the self. Well, that's who you are. But when we understand this Atma is not independent. This Atma is actually Krishna's. This Atma is not independent. It is Krishna's Atma. Because it is Krishna's Atma, everything is Krishna's only. This Atma is also Krishna's only. It's Krishna's property. Like I take this mic. So I am like this mic. So Krishna can take it like this. Krishna can keep me like this. So right now also I am doing like this only. So right now, they say I am this mic. So right now this hand is material energy. And it is doing like this. But this mic is thinking it is independent. But material energy is putting back, forth like that. But who's behind this material energy? Krishna. So right now I am being operated by Krishna in the material energy. In perfection, I realize actually it is Krishna behind this material energy also. So that is perfection. So it is not, it is one sense selfishness only. Yeah, but what is the problem in being selfish? Yeah, it's real selfishness. Yeah.
Real selfishness leads to real selflessness.
Correct. That's what I was saying. So in material world, selfishness and selflessness are opposite. In Krishna consciousness, selfishness and selflessness are the same thing. There is no difference. Okay. Any more questions? Thank you for your association. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. One round of Hare Krishna mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Divasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda